May I come in, sir?
Yes, please come.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, SAIRAJ. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, SAIRAJ, we start with your introduction.
Sir, my name is SAIRAJ Mishra. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Balangir, which is in the western part of Odisha. I've done my schooling till class 12 in Balangir only. Post that, sir, I have done my graduation in geography in Bakshi Jagabandhu College, Bhubaneswar. And sir, since then I've been preparing for this exam post graduation. Very recently, sir, I got a selection as a tax assistant in the income tax department, which I will join after this interview.
All right. So, you have just got the appointment letter.
Yes, sir.
Good. So, SAIRAJ, you're from Odisha.
Yes, sir.
You've done a lot of work on cyclone mitigation and
Yes, sir.
adaptation, right? So, tell me why Bay of Bengal gets more cyclones and these, kinds of winds compared to Arabian Sea? You're a geography student also.
Yes, sir. So there are two geographical and two meteorological regions. Coming to the geographical region, sir, Bay of Bengal is a relatively closer ocean, and land is surrounded by that, which leads to more heating and which is a prerequisite for generation of cyclones, that is 27 degrees Celsius temperature. And secondly, sir, uh, many rivers flow into the Bay of Bengal, and due to decrease in salinity, the evaporation also increases, which helps in cyclone. Coming to the meteorological reason, sir, the permanent wind, their direction is from east to west, which leads to cyclone in Bay of Bengal, and most of the cyclones in Bay of Bengal are from the West Pacific Ocean. They are transferred there. So these are the reasons.
Good. So, Sairaj, you have also mentioned that you led a project on cyclone mitigation.
Yes, sir.
So, can you prevent a cyclone, or you can mitigate the disaster that it can create? What exactly did you do the project on?
Yes, sir. Uh, in case of cyclone, it is definitely more of adaptation and less of mitigation, because we cannot actually prevent cyclone on a larger scale. But in this project, sir, we actually studied how the state government, how they are dealing with the cyclone, why Odisha is called the global case study for cyclone management. So that was basically the thing about project. And coming to the mitigation, sir, there is a line is very blurred between mitigation and adaptation as well. For example, the cultivation of mangroves in the coastal region, those can be considered
But
as.
but if we take the discussion towards mitigation of woes and disaster effects on people,
Yes, sir.
and property,
Yes, sir.
tell me, it can be mitigated by use of technology. What do you say? The effect of cyclone. Cyclone you cannot.
Yes, sir. For example, coming up talking about infrastructure, we can make disaster resilient buildings. There are more than 800 cyclone shelters in Odisha, which are specifically designed. Uh, and sir, also the early warning system, which will help in earlier evacuation, which is the motto of Odisha government as well, zero casualty approach. So in this way, sir,
How
we
can
can.
space technology be used?
Sir, tracking of cyclone through the geostationary satellite, I think through that, recently we are witnessing how it is recurving, how it is very swiftly changing its path. So in that sense, sir, through proper coordination, we can take the ground level
Sairaj,
measures.
my second next question is again related to geography. The inequality in income
Yes,
or
sir.
economic development, less level of economic development, how it affects, how geography affects the level of economic development, suppose between the countries. Do you think if US is very much developed and India is not as much, do you think there are some geographical reasons also for it? Or should we assign everything on your performance, on the productivity of our people? What do you say?
Sir, I would say it is both. Talking about the natural advantages, US certainly has natural advantage, sir. It has access to coast both ways. It has important shale gas reserves, coal and iron ore reserves, as well as, sir, it was a newly colonized country, so they had that advantage. They had not that the historical baggage. But talking about India, sir, India too has diverse resource, but it has a history which impacted, because history and geography, they are very intertwined, very intrinsically correlated. So in that sense, sir, geography plays important role, but we also have example of countries which are not geographically rich, such as Israel, such as Japan, despite of their adverse geography, through human development.
Does the same principle apply between inequality of economic development among the states of India?
To some extent, yes, sir. If we look at the coastal states, because of access to sea, they are better developed. And the interior states, such as which are forest and tribal dominated, they are such as Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. They are,
So Odisha is both a coastal state and it is very rich in minerals.
yes, sir.
Why is it not in the frontline states of development?
So there are several reasons for it, sir. First of all, historically, Odisha has never been a united province. So that is one reason, sir. Secondly, sir, Odisha faces a classic case of resource curse, where there is regional inequality in development. The coastal is pretty well developed, whereas the interior, southern and western part is not that developed.
My last question to you, Sairaj, relates again to your DAF entry about some competition. You gave a speech on do small states really make better ones?
Yes, sir.
So you spoke in favor or you spoke against?
Sir, actually, my argument was that it is not actually about the size of state. Although small states have several advantages, there is homogeneity in problems as well as opportunities. There is people feel hurt because of closeness to the administrative headquarter. But sir, at the same time, it is about the quality of public service delivery and the quality of governance that determines the level of development, and not just the state.
So tell me, just like on the line of states, there is a demand for the states to be divided. Uh, there is a tendency among the states to divide their districts further.
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you react to this? Do smaller districts are smaller districts better governed than the bigger districts?
Yes, sir. The demands are on rise, as we see last year or last to last year, Andhra Pradesh from 13 to 26 districts. So, sir, even in my area also, they are demanding smaller district.
What is your area?
Sir, Balangir, close to my neighboring in Bargarh, they are demanding Padampur as a separate district, or further division of the KVK 8 districts. So, sir, according to me, sir, proper analysis should be done whether it is economically feasible, because there is administrative cost involved in duplication of infrastructure. There will be more and more revenue expenditure by appointing officials, and if there is inequality in addressing the development, then we can consider. However, blatantly creating district will not solve the problem.
So, Sairaj, this February, uh, a demand has come to Odisha government to make 28 districts more, in addition to 30, which are already there. So, applying this rationale of yours, the government should not agree.
Sir, before taking any decision, government should do proper ground level analysis. It should understand the grievances, how the geographical factors, the social factor, the tribal factors, and then it should take a prudent decision. Because, sir, just creating district
All
will
right.
not solve the problem.
Thank you, Sairaj. Sairaj, you're from Odisha.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, in Odisha, you have a big lake, Chilika Lake.
Yes, sir.
What is the significance of Chilika Lake? What is the economic significance of Chilika Lake?
Sir, first of all, it's one of the first Ramsar sites, so it's a very big tourist attraction. There is Iravati dolphin, which is found only in Chilika Lake in India. Secondly, sir, it helps the local economy as well. The fishermen, they depend on the Chilika Lake. And thirdly, sir, uh, the Chilika Lake, the specificity of it is the salinity gradient of, because it is a lagoon which is basically formed. So, sir, the unique ecosystem, it nurtures a very a vibrant biodiversity. So, in that sense, sir, it's a natural resource and it can be further developed as well.
No, I was asking about economic significance. So you talked about two things. One is the tourism,
Yes, sir.
another is the fishery sector.
Yes, sir.
In the fishery sector, do you think that the development of fisheries taking a toll on the ecological significance of Chilika Lake? You understand my
Yes, sir.
question?
Yes, sir.
The fishery sector in Chilika Lake is taking a toll on ecological significance of Chilika Lake.
Yes, sir. When unsustainable fishing practices are
What type of
adopted,
unsustainable fishing things are being done in Chilika?
such as, sir, bottom trawling, such as leaving the ghost nets, which the organisms get entangled in that, and, sir, overfishing as well, not respecting the carrying capacity of the lake.
What
So,
can be done, Sairaj, to check all these things?
sir, more and more education of the fishermen should be there, where they should be empowered. They should be taught about the sustainable fishing practices. Number one, sir. And, sir, secondly, the ramification of this bottom trawling or the unsustainable fishing is not just limited to fisheries, but it is limited to overall marine ecosystem. So, in that respect, sir, the scientific organization, the civil society organization, everyone should come to board, and it should be a proper concentrated effort, sir.
The Chilika Lake was kept on the Montreux record.
Yes, sir, it was once kept, but now it is out of it.
Now it is out of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know there is a organization called BIMSTEC.
Yes, sir.
You also know there is an organization called SARC.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that BIMSTEC is replacing SARC?
So, looking at the dysfunctional nature of SARC due to the Pakistan issue, we are also prioritizing BIMSTEC as an organization by prioritizing its summits, and also as the Indian Ocean region or the Bay of Bengal region is going to be the next big thing. We are focusing on more and more cooperation. However, sir, we should not neglect SARC as well, because it has a long institutional framework. It has those networks built. For example, in COVID time, we used SARC food banks, SARC networks. So it has its due place. However, at the same time, sir, India is focusing on diversifying its multi alignments. So I would not say that it is completely replacing it, but it is emerging as a better alternative, so that we continue our cooperation.
Okay. Faraz, uh, you have mentioned that you were the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in Youth Parliament.
Yes, sir.
You acted as minister.
Yes, sir.
So, as in Minister of Environment, Forest, and what do you know? What is the target of afforestation target of India for this climate mitigation program?
Sir, as per National Forest Policy 1988, 33% of afforestation.
No, no, I am talking about the climate action COP 28.
Sir,
COP 28, what we have committed for afforestation.
sir, I'm not exactly aware of COP 28. However, sir, India's NDCs,
What is that? Tell me the NDC. What is the NDC for afforestation?
sir, they talk about addition of 2.5 to 3 billion additional carbon sink.
By
Uh, by 2030, sir, if I'm correctly recalling.
by 2030.
Yes, sir.
And so that is the carbon sequestration.
Yes, sir.
Besides carbon sequestration, what about other plantations?
In COP, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm
Any fallow land plantations, wasteland plantations, degraded area plantation targets? No.
sir, 26 million hectare of degraded land should be restored under UNCCD. I have heard of that, sir.
By
2030.
so in this 26 million hectare area to be restored to green by 2030, what how Odisha can contribute? Which are the areas where Odisha can contribute?
Sir, first of all, Odisha has a significant tribal population, and their culture of sacred groups, I think that can be extended to protect the environment and restore the degraded land. Secondly, sir, Odisha itself is a very big victim of climate change and land degradation. So it has learned its lesson. For example,
I'm asking which are the districts where this land degradation has taken place.
sir, in my place, sir, in the KBK region, because it is a drought-prone region, there is intense leaching as well. So in this region, sir, through proper irrigation and adopting the indigenous species rather than promoting the invasive alien species or the exotic species, I think we can restore the degraded land.
Sarah, do you know something about FRA 2006?
Yes,
Forest
sir.
Right Act 2006?
Yes, sir.
So, do you face any difficulties in implementing this act in Odisha?
Yes, sir. There are certainly difficulties in implementation of
What
this.
type of difficulties are there in Odisha
Sir,
as far
first
as
of all,
implement?
sir, first of all, the tribal communities, the forest communities, they don't have the land rights, the land records with them.
For land record, this act is there.
Yes, sir. They don't have the proof of because sir, the cutoff date is 2005 for 31st December.
Hmm.
So they are not able to meet that cutoff date, and they are not able to
Why?
prove
Why?
because sir, they are not able to prove that they were have been inhabiting that land for the last 75 years. Because for non-tribal communities, the criteria is they should be living in that land for last 75
I am
years.
asking about tribals. Do this condition is for tribals as well?
No, tribals are they can get the land if they
So
are.
why they are not getting the land? In Madhya Pradesh, they are getting the land. In Madhya Pradesh, things are going well. Why Odisha? Odisha is a very tribal dominated
Yes,
area.
sir.
So why, if there are some impediments, if there are some obstacles, what are the obstacles and how they can be overcome in implementing this FRA 2006, giving the patta, land patta rights to the tribals? I'm talking about tribals, not non-tribal.
Yes, sir. So there are multiple claims on the same land that is there. Secondly, sir, because of the developmental projects that we are witnessing tribal displacement, so it is also hindering their rights over the land. I can recall of these two,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sarah, just continuing on climate change and environment, tell me some successful waste to energy projects that have been implemented in
In India, sir.
India.
Sir, talking about renewable energy, sir, we are one of the fastest growing renewable energy sector in the world. Uh, we have around 183 giga
Waste to energy.
waste to energy.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't heard it. Sir, first of all, from municipal solid waste, there is refuse derived fuel can be made. Secondly, sir, from manure from the cattle waste, we can make biofuel or we can make the biogas as well. That is one way. Yes, sir, I can think of these two.
All right. So now coming to electric vehicles, Government of India has announced a new electric vehicle policy. Are you aware what is this policy and how will it impact uh, combustion engine (ICE) future in India?
Yes, sir. With more and more influx of EVs, the IC, the internal combustion engine, they will be obsolete in the near future. But at the same time, sir, the manufacturers, they are coming out with flex fuel vehicles where they can go for a smooth transition rather than becoming completely obsolete. Even the CNG vehicles are promoted as a bridge vehicle. So, sir, in that sense, if a smooth transition is taking place, then, sir, they will be least impacted.
My first part of the question was what is the new
Yes, sir.
electric vehicle policy?
Sir, I have read about it, but sir, I'm not able to recall the details of it.
All right. So now there is one prominent person in Ladakh who is sitting on fast.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what is the reason for which he is on fast for last more than 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. Sonam Wangchuk ji is sitting on climate fast. He has several demands, sir. Number one, separate statehood for Ladakh. Number two, sixth schedule status for Ladakh to save its fragile ecology and stop blatant industrialization. Number three, giving two parliamentary seats from Ladakh, which is currently just one. And number four, they are demanding a separate Ladakh Public Service Commission, so that they can have a control over the recruitment, so the locals people can get employed.
So, how to balance development versus environment, especially in Ladakh, where India is exploiting mineral resources and so many other resources, and development is going on. So he is proposing, stoppage of everything, restoring the original Ladakh.
Sir, I think we should start talking about environment and development and not environment or development. And talking about Sonam Wangchuji, sir, I think Ladakh as a fragile ecology, no doubt, has a lot of mineral resources, lot of solar energy potential, geothermal energy potential. But sir, the hidden cost we are neglecting it. We should also remember that the Ladakh is also witnessing several kind of the geological disasters, the glacial lake outburst. There is threat to the Ladakhi culture. So I think, sir, a alternate vision of development should be conceptualized for places such as Ladakh, where there should be local led development, where small scale industries should be promoted, where they should be prioritized for employment, where we are developing green energy, where there is no large scale land acquisition, large scale destabilization of the ecosystem. And in that sense, sir, they should be included in the decision making, and it should not be imposed from outside, sir.
Good. One last question I want to ask you is on South China Sea.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what is this issue between Philippines and China? And should India, is it right for India to intervene and take sides?
Sir, yes, China is showcasing its muscular approach in South China Sea against these small countries who have mutual claims on the region, such as Philippines, Vietnam, etc. And sir, India is rightfully taking the stand that it stands with the Philippines, because sir, China's high-handedness is not something secret or something new to the world. We are proposing the Sagar, the security and growth for all in the region. We are promoting a rules-based world order, and for that, sir, I think we should stand up for our small neighbors, the global southern neighbors, and in that sense, sir, India is doing the right thing. It is also telling that the China should also abide by the global institutions such as the permanent the tribunals, which said that China does not have a claim over South China Sea. So in that sense, sir, India is doing the right thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, good morning, Sairaj.
Good morning, sir.
So, you have studied political science, history, and geography in your graduation.
Yes, sir.
So, what is your perspective of Citizenship Amendment Act?
Sir, I see Citizenship Amendment Act as an unfinished business after partition, which is being done now. So that is the basic reasoning behind it. Secondly, sir, it is an inclusivist act rather than an exclusivist act, where we are extending citizenship to the 6 religious community from the 3 countries, and we are not just giving them, rather we are just shortening the time period from 11 to 5 years. So in that sense, sir, more than talking about the rightness and wrongness of the act, I think we should focus on clearing the air about the misinformation about this act, so that there will be better debate. And at the end, sir, it is under sub judice, so nothing more can be commented.
Now, Sairaj, how history and geography are interrelated?
So they are indeed interrelated, because the historical events, they take place in the spatial settings. Talking specifically about India, sir, our Himalaya, the northwestern passes, because of their existence, we saw several invaders coming from that area, and several wars taking place at Panipat region. Secondly, sir, if we talk about the starting of civilizations in India, starting from Indus Valley civilization to the Mahajanapadas, it started from west to east, because sir, geographically, the western part was more plain land, and when iron was discovered in 1000 BC, only then forest could be cleared, so that we saw landforms in the eastern part, the Mahajanapadas, in the late. And even sir, the our coastal area, our peninsula, because of that sir, it has impacted our historical ties with the Indian Ocean countries such as the Southeast Asian countries. So in that sense sir, geography certainly impacts history.
So, Sairaj, India's population is said to have crossed 140 crores.
Yes sir.
So, in this slide, what type of population policy would you like to advocate for India?
Sir, first of all, we don't have those population explosion fears that we had. Our TFR is around 2.0, which is below replacement level. So the current population policy should focus on skilling the existing population, because we have already the workforce for 2047 is already ready. So I think we should focus on giving them the new age skills. Secondly, sir, this demographic dividend comes with a gender dividend, because as less and less TFR is declining, so I think we should not miss the bus of empowering our women and increasing the labor force participation. Thirdly, sir, our old age population by 2047 will be 20%. So I think we should focus on reaping the second demographic dividend and ensuring proper social security for them.
Sairaj, can you highlight the potential of blue economy in Odisha?
Yes, sir. Odisha being a coastal state, 480 kilometers of coastline is there. So we have a lot of potential with respect to the blue economy, starting from the fisheries, secondly from the energy resources such as wind energy resources farms can be established in the coastal region, and sir, other resources such as the wave energy, tidal energy, that can be also harnessed in the Odisha coast, sir.
So, Sairaj, if you were to be DM of Balangir
Yes,
or
sir.
any poor district in Odisha, so how would you ensure Atmanirbharta as a DM in your district?
Sir, Atmanirbharta can be ensured only when the communities are involved in any kind of project, when there is bottom-up development. So, first of all, sir, I will identify the sectors, especially taking the help of one district, one product route where they have the potential, and I will try to develop that based on their own capacity. Secondly, sir, I'll tap into the self-help group network, which is very vibrant in Odisha, the Mission Shakti scheme, so that the government will provide and the people will maintain that scheme. And thirdly, sir, more and more education should be provided to the people, especially the entrepreneurial education, so that they can continue with the project, so that Atmanirbharta can be achieved in a more specific sector.
Now, you were also under 16 state level cricket player.
Yes, sir.
So, why we see very less number of cricket players from Odisha?
So there are several reasons for it. Though we had some national players such as Devashish Mahanti and others, but number one, Odisha has not been doing very well with respect to Ranji Trophy. We reached quarter final in 2016 and 2018 sometimes back. Secondly, sir, the grassroots infrastructure is not that vibrant with respect to cricket as compared to other states like Mumbai or Karnataka. And thirdly, sir, there's corruption persists, especially in the grassroots selection uh, level, especially district and state level. So in that sense, sir, the good talents, they don't get their deserving chance.
And what are the benefits of barefoot running?
Sir, first of all, running mechanics improve. As opposed to the shoal-based shoes that we wear, there is heel to toe strike, which is not good for the knees. Whereas in barefoot running, there is midfoot to forefoot strike, which is good for the knees and it is less injury prone. Secondly, sir, our sense of awareness about the ground increases, so it is a more natural form. Thirdly, sir, in Ayurveda also we talk about the grounding aspect, where the Prithvi Tattva. So in that sense, sir, it has health benefits as well.
Okay, my last question, Sairaj. Why do you wish to come into civil services?
So there are some personal as well as professional reasons, sir. Personally, sir, I have come from the KBK region, which is most backward, and I have seen how a smallest of intervention by civil servants actually make a huge difference in the lives of people. And I also personally want to be part of that journey. And professionally, sir, it's a very diverse field where we get to experience a lot. We get the exposure starting from the grassroots workers to the higher level executive, and from such a young age, sir, we get the leadership position, so which increases our learning opportunity. So because of these reasons, sir, I want to aspire to join civil services.
So, thank you, Sairaj.
Thank you, sir.
Sairaj, anything with your depth which we may not have covered so far? If you think anything has been left out, I can ask you one thing. Last one.
Sir, it was fine, sir.
So thank you, Sairaj. We are over with the interview.
Yes, sir.
We'll call you again for the feedback after some time. Meanwhile, you can wait in the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So, Sairaj, how you think you have done today?
Sir, the questions in which I had little knowledge, I was not very specific. Sir pointed out so that deviation from the demand of the
Which
question
one?
was there.
Which one?
Sir, about the Forest Right Act issues faced by tribals.
So, so Sairaj, this is your first UPSC interview.
Yes, sir.
So, Sairaj, you have done very well. You have your overall performance has been very good. You have impressed us in all spheres. Your knowledge and depth of knowledge is very good. Your maturity, your balanced personality is also highly appreciated. So there is very little which the panel has found missing in you. You're almost ready for the interview. Some of the questions here and there,
Yes,
you're
sir.
not a, nobody is an encyclopedia. And direct related questions, of course, one should be able to answer. But if you're not able to answer knowledge based, may not make much of it. But where your views are taken, where your personality gets reflected,
Yes, sir.
those questions are very good, and you came out very successful in those. So there's nothing, Sairaj, that I can add from my side. You were that good.
Thank you, sir.
Siraj, you are a very good candidate. A very good candidate. You have done very well. You answered very well. Mm, uh, Chilika, do you grow prawns also there?
Yes,
Prawn?
sir. Prawn is a big thing there.
Yeah. So prawn is a big thing, and
Yeah.
prawn is a very nasty thing also for ecological
Yes, sir.
degradation.
Yes, sir.
So read about prawns.
Yes, sir.
Why, how they are destroying biological diversity in Chilika Lake. This is
Yes,
one
sir.
thing. Second thing is because it's basically wintering grounds for waterfowls and other things.
Yes,
So
sir.
read about Chilika one in detail about the ecological problems of Chilika. Second is FRA 2006 we're talking about. Say FRA 2006 there is a restriction on the amount of land to be given to a particular tribal family.
Yes, sir.
I don't remember it.
Four, I think 4
acre?
hectare.
Maybe
4 hectares.
four. So there are many cases where the people have occupied more than 4 acres.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that?
Yes, sir.
So that is a bone of contention. And they say that we are doing it for ages together.
Yes, sir.
So that is another thing with the forest department. What I will suggest to you is that you have some time. You go to the website of Tribal Department of Odisha. And you also go to the website of Forest Department of Odisha.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In those websites, you will find this tribal issue. FRA and the Forest Department.
Yes, sir.
So what are the issues from the tribal department side and what are the issues from the forest department side? And then you can make out a balanced view of your own.
Yes, sir.
What can be done. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Basically, it's act, it has to be done, but at the same time, we have to give consideration to the forest department issues.
Yes, sir.
Because forest department issues are also relevant and they are quite cogent also. So just read these two websites
Okay, sir.
and then definitely you will come to know about the issue in Odisha. What is the story? How far it has succeeded? What percentage so far the tribals have got their land? And what are the balance? How many left? And what all sorts of things.
Yes, sir.
So basically, you are a very good candidate. Tribals में आपको बहुत सवाल आ सकता है. You may face a lot of questions on tribals and forest and all that. So you do that, and overall, you are. I find you a very good, very promising candidate. You will do very well in an interview. Just do this homework.
Thank you, sir.
You will do very well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All the best.
So Sarah, same here. Very good personality, very good communication, very good analysis also. Just catch up on two things: waste to energy project.
Yes.
Delhi has got 4 such projects and is able to generate more than 16 MW energy.
Yes.
All right. So read up on waste to energy project. That was one question that
Yes,
I
sir.
asked. and new electric vehicle policy where import of electric vehicles will become cheaper subject to certain conditions.
Yes, sir.
So read upon it.
Yes, sir.
And what impact will it have on ICE vehicles? So future is hybrid.
Yes, sir.
So, but for these two, you were very good on Ladakh and Philippines.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Wish you all the best.
So, Sairaj, I believe you were tested very thoroughly and you came out with flying colors. So, in almost all my questions, particularly, you did very well, and overall, you did very well. So,